Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at something called PokePla, and as you can probably guess by the name in question, that means Pokemon plastic models. So these are by no means new, they've been around for quite some time, but I've never actually given one a chance, and I just thought it'd fit in a little bit with how many different Bandai plastic models I've been trying out over the last couple of weeks, just to see what they have that's a little bit different from Gunpla. So I'm going to be taking a look at this one as well as a black Rayquaza, and if you want any of what you're seeing here or some PokePla for yourself, I got these exactly where you can too, and that is from Hobby Link Japan. Link is down there in the description. Now let's get this little guy built. So on cracking open this small little box right here, we're greeted to pretty much one bag of runners. So that is just 2 runners in total, and it looks like we have a couple of stickers in here, and in behind that then we have a little bit of an advertisement for some of the other products that are available on this particular quick Pokemon Plamo line. It started with a Pikachu, it seems to have moved its way all around to a Pikachu, and you've got a whole bunch to choose from right here, and objectively the best Pokemon from the bunch is of course Mimikyu. Around on the back then it shows you how to put it all together, cute ways you can pose your Pokemon Pla, and other things, well, that are available from other Pokemon Plamo lines. One interesting aspect here is the instructions are actually on the inside of the box like this, so you do have to collapse the box a little bit to get to them, but there isn't really a whole lot to it, and this just seems like a really good idea, including, well, I was going to say, instead of including some instructions, but they did include this, so it kind of defeats the purpose. So inside the box, when it does come to the plastic, we've got 2 runners of plastic, runner A1 and A2. We do have one little sticker in here, which is just for a brown stripe, but besides that, this whole thing seems to be color accurate, so looking good. Now this right here is a model kit in which, well, you don't need any tools. You can just pop the individual parts off the runners just like so without a nipper. So that means even if you don't have any tools, well, you don't need any, and that's the way I'm going to do it today, just for the sake of example. So yeah, the assembly is super simple. You're able to get all the parts off of the runner just by popping them out with your hand. Of course, it will be a little bit of a cleaner job if you did use a nipper, but I'll talk about the marks that will leave in a minute or two. Assembly is super simple. The cheeks just slot into the face, nice and perfect like so. We've got a black part that attaches into the back of the face, which adds in the happy eyes, the nose and the mouth. Then you pop on the back of the head and the tips of both of the ears. And this right here is what you get, so it works out absolutely perfect. Building the body then is exactly the same as what we saw on the head, if even a little bit on the simpler side. So again, it's just the front and the back of the body. We've got these stripes for on Pikachu's back. Now, these are interestingly done, so there's nothing on this you can actually mix up, like the top of the ears or the stripes, which do look the same at first glance. They don't have the same connection points, so you cannot mix up any parts. Finally, then you put the feet together as 2 parts and attach them on. The tail is 2 parts as well. This is where the sticker comes into play, because there is a little bit of an overlap between the yellow part and the brown part that needs to be covered up by the sticker just like so. The tail pops on via a ball joint, and then you just slap the head on just like so, and what can I say? This is a lot more than I ever expected. That wasn't much effort at all to turn out like this. Damn, Bandai has added some serious gasoline to their model kits. Anyway, there's a full 360 spin of what the Pikachu looks like, and it doesn't really do anything. You can move the tail around a bit, but the whole point is it just looks like a nice little collectible. It's cute, it's so well molded, and the detail is perfect. Now, if we get in a little bit closer to those little nub sections, they are noticeable if you just pull this off the runner. Now, if you have yourself a sanding stick or a file or something like that, you will be able to clean these up, but if you do take a little bit more care while snipping it out, if you actually do snip it out as opposed to pull it out, you won't actually have those little bits. But even with those there, they're not really all that noticeable, especially if it's up on your shelf, where you won't be too close to it. So next on the chopping block, we've got this right here. This came out, I think, the same week, if not a week apart from the Pikachu. Now, this is a proper PokePla, as in it's a full-on model kit of black Rayquaza right here. It seems to have some points of articulation. Can't imagine it's going to have a ridiculous amount, and there is a lot more runners and stickers to it. So let's check out exactly what we've got in here. So this right here, the Black Rayquaza, is a relatively more complex kit than we would have seen with the quick PokePla being the Pikachu. In here we get 4 runners, 2 of which are almost identical. They are runner A and A2. We've got runner B and runner B2 as well. All of these apparently say they're from the 2020 version of Rayquaza, which would be in the standard Rayquaza green color. And we do get 1 set of stickers in here. So simple enough, but a little more complex than what we just saw. When it comes to the build of the Rayquaza, just like we would have seen with the PokePla Quick, you don't need any tools to build this. You just pull it off the runners just like so. I'm going to do exactly that. First off in here we are going to be building the head. Now this just builds up as a bunch of parts as you would expect. This is a little bit more complex with a little bit of articulation in it. I will mention there are stickers. First off, there is one for the tongue that needs to be stuck onto an uneven kind of curved surface, so it works out okay, a little bit awkward. There's some tiny detail like the little teeth in front that pop in. We've got lots of nice yellow for all that design over Rayquaza's body, head, and neck. And finally, it all connects together just like so. And like I mentioned, there is a little bit of articulation in the mouth. Finally, there are stickers for the eyes as well. So the only stickers that are on this kit are on the head, on the tongue, and eyes. From here on out, the build of the body is pretty much, well, it's repetitive to some degree, but not really. We've got the torso with the arms, which attaches all together. We've got individual color separated parts for all of the nails, and it seems to be everything from the neck down is color separated. You build a multitude of the same little elements, 3 of the kind of snaky body parts, 3 of those almost plus shaped circular parts, and we do have 1 tail, of course, with the pointy bit down at the end. This is just a simple act of breaking everything off the runners, snapping it all together, and nothing is difficult at all, and you can't put on anything backwards or the wrong way around because they're all just intelligently designed with unique attachment parts for absolutely everything. So this little pile right here is what we get in the end. Here's the instructions on how to assemble all that together. So it's just head, arm, body section, 1 of these bits, those bits, these bits, those bits, these bits, those bits, and then the tail. So that is pretty much what it is like, almost finished. Finally, then we do have to add the bits onto the head. I don't know why you add them on at this stage, not actually when you're building the head itself. So that just pops in like so, that big old ear section. That bit then pops in like so, and then we've got these little sections which are both exactly the same, just mirrored, which pop on like that, and just like that. For a second there I was like, how's this thing meant to stand up? But then I forgot there is one little piece left, which is this little bit of cloud, which is its stand. And according to the instructions, to use this, you just pop it in, just like that. Right there. So yeah, when one of these kits is finished, there's not really a whole lot to it really. I will of course mention that you would be better off nipping this off with a nipper and maybe cleaning up some of those little nubs because they are quite prevalent if just pulled off the runner. Well, I guess as you'd expect. As for the articulation on this, it does do a couple of things, not really a whole lot. You're able to pop open the mouth just like so. The arms can move up and down on pegs. Each of these points is twistable, so you can kind of get a little bit of a different kind of twist out of it, but besides that, it doesn't really move around all that much. There's nothing you can actually connect it to one of Bandai or, well, any company's kind of action bases to keep it in the air, which is a little bit of a disappointment, even if there was just one little hole there somewhere, just so you could pop it up on a kind of higher display than just popping it into this right here. But that does do the job, and what can I really say? Let's get it spinning. So yeah, there's the full 360 spin of what this looks like finished, and it does what it needs to do. The only stickers are on the eyes and the tongue, and besides that, it is quite color accurate. I know there is a Gyarados out there, I can see it on the packet right here, and I kind of feel like I really want that particular Pokemon. I don't know, there's just something so iconic about a Gyarados. Looking at this right here, I feel like I've got something that's quite similar to that, but not quite as iconic. Anyway, when it comes to these lines, these are nice little model kits. They're ridiculously inexpensive. The Rayquaza right here is about €10. That's in around $11 or so. The Pikachu we looked at is just under €5 at $4.74 off of Hobbylink Japan, so that means these things are so inexpensive. The older version of Pikachu is only about €4, so if you want some decently sized, nice little collectibles that don't cost too much, that you get to put together yourself, that is exactly what these are. These are definitely Bandai quality. Beautiful plastic. I do recommend cleaning them up a little bit after build, but these are very nice collectibles. I especially like the quick ones. The smaller, cuter Pokemon, they put together so easily. They're a nice size. They're pretty damn awesome. But anyway, once again, if you do want some of your own, link is down there in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back for more Plamo reviews, and I'll see you next time. As always, this video right here would not have been possible without each and every single one of you guys who watches my videos, and all of these awesome people right here who help out on the channel memberships and over on Patreon, including 10 Soldier YT, Abraxas, Caleb Engelhart, Dashel Marmion, Go Little Rockstar, Joe, Lauren Seahack, or G95061, 10 Soldier YT again, and Van Fawn.